morning, Mr. Hardy. I want to take a moment here and review the lesson we had yesterday. When we take a look at the swing here, we kind of did a little bit of a review in the beginning, but then as we got further along into the lesson, we started talking about trying to get your hands and your body turning through a little more to the inside. Now, when we take a look initially here in the first part of the lesson, what we see here is right about this position, right at about knee high. You can kind of start seeing that club wanting to take the track back around your body. So as it takes that track back around your body, you can see how the club gets really flat, the club face gets really open at about chest high. So when we draw a line there on that position, what we see here is a big difference on where we were. Now, we know that since we're trying to get that club up, that was that whole purpose of trying to keep the right elbow in here and keep that left flat wrist. Well, we can still do that, but what we want to look at, and I think that's what you were trying to do in mechanics and trying to analyze it, was trying to keep that elbow in too much. You know, when we compare you here to, let's say, Rory McIlroy, as we were talking about yesterday, you can see Rory take it back here, and you can almost see that club kind of go straight up through that right forearm. See how it just kind of follows that track right up through that right forearm. Hands follow that same position, kind of go up and over that right shoulder. So as we get up to the top here, you can see as he turns his shoulders up to the top, you can see a much better position here compared to here and here. All right. So if we're seeing with yourself here, basically what we would see is if that right elbow was a little more of a 90-degree position, so the hand being out, we'd probably see even a little more of a different turn. Second part, what we'd see is a little bit firmer left leg. You know, by looking at this firmer left leg, that left leg wouldn't be bowing out as much. So as you go to take the club around your body, what happens? That left knee comes out to keep your balance as you try to swing up to the top. So what we initially did, or what we first started talking about, I want to get you back into that swing there and kind of show you. You know, we just said let's just take the club up. You know, I want you to get that club going up a little bit more, trying to keep that toe up. And you can kind of see that first implication of where it was right here. Oh, I think this is the same swing. I'm sorry. It is the same swing. Wrong. There we go. All right. So here's a side view of it. And then here we go. This is after we came back. We started talking about it. All right, I turned that on too soon. Here we go. All right, there we go. That's a little more of a one-piece takeaway. We kind of see the club, left arm being out. Where you can look here, left arm straight. Obviously, you'd like to see the straightness of this left arm, but obviously the toe being up. That's a little more where we'd like to see it. Hands go up. We see a difference here. And then as you turn back, you turn the shoulders. And that's ideally where we'd like to see the shoulders turn up to. Obviously, seeing at this point here, compared to there, you see how you kind of hunch down, or that body kind of turns down with the spine angle here. Here, spine angle stays consistent. Look at the difference between these two, night and day. So as you turn up, now then as you come down, this is the part that once we got past this part here, we kind of forgot about everything else. And all we talked about was in the transition from the top of the swing coming down and through the golf shot. Now, what I discussed was a couple things. By a couple things, what we talked about, and very simple put, it's right here. It's this transition from here. So a two-part move. First part, right elbow coming to the side. Instead of coming out like we see here, and right shoulder coming down, we want the right shoulder to come down and the right elbow to come down. You see how those two positions are a little more of where we'd like to see it rather than where we see here. See how that shoulder and that elbow kind of almost operate as one here, which in turn gets the club going out, around, and that's where that little fade or that little push comes from. So you can see it's the same move that we see here, same move that we see right here. This is your first lesson back on the 17th. We're up. And watch that same move here, here. There. Except obviously a little more exaggerated, a little more intense as you come in, because look how far those hands are out and away from you. Here, I think we've come a long way, from where we were there. Obviously, everything is just that applying that position. And I know it becomes a little frustrated, but obviously we are making that muscle memory change or that change in the same regards. So what we kind of worked on and what I kind of tied things into here is as we did these things, you know, the first movement, I think something that kind of related to you here. Hold on a second here. Oh, I don't have it. All right. One exercise or one position that I had you think about here is I tied that little rubber band back up here. And what I wanted you to have that feeling of is as you took the club up, or as you pulled down that rubber band or that handle there, what we looked at or what we thought about. Hands came up, and it was almost still in that position right here. As you get up to here, we don't want to see this. You're trying to get that position. But you can see right here where we're here and up. Now, what we were talking about, and I'm going to get back to the rubber band here, it was right here. That rubber band motion was here. I kind of had you feel it was right over your right shoulder, and it was the motion of the right shoulder, right elbow going down, and that downward turning motion. And an individual will go back to Rory here and take a look at it and show. It's this motion here that we're talking about. Right there. So if he's got that rope and he's pulling it down, so that elbow comes to the side, right hip comes turning through, everything is acting as one piece. Here, here, and here. All is turning together and turning around. And it's not just Rory. You know, we look at, let's say, Vijay Singh. You know, look at VJ here. VJ's got a, you know, he's very pronounced when showing this, but you can see this two-part here. His left knee's out about like yours, but watch this left hip, this left elbow. Head stays positioned, body starts to turn right there. That's what we want to see, is that elbow coming to the side while at the same time that right hip turning down and through. Hands come down, we create that leg down and through. Now, as we worked on this and as we've seen this, you know, we started seeing that a couple times. You know, as you swung back and swung through, we started feeling the position here, right there. This is your practice swing. And I put that little pole right next to you, and I told you I wanted you to swing up. Hands come down, hands come up. And look at your finish here compared to when we looked here. You know, and there's a difference or something that our finish shows us here. You can see how the club intersects about chest high. So that means the club is coming low and around your body. Big difference between those two positions. Look how that right foot is still on the ground. You're driving through with getting that weight off that right side and turning through. That's more of what we're wanting to talk about. So what we see here, you're here, elbow comes down, hip goes around. See that left knee? That's what we're wanting to see. That move there. Now, Jason, even if you do 100 golf swings, or even just something as simple as 20 to 40 swings, act like you're playing 9 holes or 18 holes of golf, front 9, back 9. But having that position is you feel that club at the top of your golf swing. Right elbow comes down, right hip starts transferring that weight and turning through. Thus, in turn, the hand creates a little bit of that lag of the club staying back here instead of wanting to come out, getting very upright here, with it here, and coming out and across, or down and through. That's what we want to see with the shoulder. So 20 to 40 swings is what I would recommend there. Now, as we went further along, what I did secondary as you were hitting balls, I put you into impact position. Now, by putting you into impact position, what I wanted you to do, that's getting that right hip a little forward, club head a little, shaft a little forward as well. Kind of on that preset position, you know, before you even swing at the ball. So I want you starting there, and then the idea is to return back to that position. So something that we didn't use and I didn't have out there. It might be an impact bag or an old bag that you put a lot of towels in, and what you do is you return back to that point. And this, what we see here, I like this movement transferring down and through because it's a much better turn down and through that ball time after time. Now what we've seen once I go to the back part is that we're back to this picture on the left. You know, we're not like our practice swing where the hands come back down to the inside. The hip and shoulder operate together and they go to the inside and swing through. So it's a combination of trying to tie all these three things together, but I think it's getting that consistency or getting that repetition. So I think what might work a little better for you now is either I definitely want you to do 2 sets of 20 reps of doing these just to practice swing, not at a ball, just swinging the club. Get in that position and feeling that position down and through. But then 2, maybe add a little weight to it. Do the same thing like you're working out, just like you're working or getting ready for a triathlon. You know, it's that position of getting that mechanics, getting that swing time after time and having it become replicated. So by all means, if you have any questions, Jason, I want you to give me a call. Or feel free to stop by and ask. 314-724-6539 or shoot me an email at michaelwyattgolf@gmail.com.